local cement industry under threat from rising imports, says Cogmark, and also Bank of Ghana urges banks to use risk-sharing tools to boost SME lending. And on the international scene, Microsoft and OpenAI strike non-binding deal to reshape partnership. Now let's settle for the details of the stories. So our first story, the Chamber of Cement Manufacturers Ghana has raised alarm over what it describes as a growing threat to the survival of local cement industry caused by the influx of imported bagged cement, particularly from Togo. Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber, Dr. George Dawson Amoah, revealed that many of the foreign brands are entering the Guinean market without undergoing the mandatory certification processes of the Ghana Standards Authority, raising safety concerns and undermining fair competition. He warned that if unchecked, the situation could erode investment by local producers, lead to job losses, weaken investor confidence, and derail Ghana's industrialization agenda. Cogmark is calling on the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry to enforce stricter import regulations, review trade policies, and introduce protective measures to ensure a level playing field. The Chamber further lamented trade imbalances within ECOWAS, stressing that while cement from Togo easily enters Ghana, Guinean cement faces barriers in neighboring markets, effectively turning the country into a dumping ground. Now, away from that, Ghana has reaffirmed its commitment to global maritime safety as Professor Ransford Jampo, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, led the country's delegation to the 11th session of the International Maritime Organization Subcommittee on Carriage of Cargoes and Containers in London. The meeting, held from the 8th to the 12th of September, focused on pressing issues including container losses at sea, revisions to international cargo codes, and guidelines for the use of new fuels such as ammonia and hydrogen. Professor Jampo, joined by senior officials from the Shippers Authority and the Ghana Maritime Authority, actively engaged in deliberations that directly impact trade competitiveness and the safety of Ghana's maritime space. Key recommendations from the session will be forwarded to the IMO's Maritime Safety Committee for possible adoption. Now into other stories. The Bank of Ghana is calling on commercial banks to expand credit to small and medium-sized enterprises by making greater use of risk-sharing tools. Governor Johnson Panditisiama says mechanisms such as partial credit guarantees and the Ghana incentive-based risk-sharing system for agricultural lending can ease banks' reluctance to lend to SMEs, which often struggle to provide collateral. Speaking at a workshop on integrating SMEs into global value chains, Dr. Siama urged banks to move beyond collateral-based lending toward cash flow and supply chain financing models, citing international examples that have spurred job creation. He added that adopting digital tools, partnering with fintechs, and providing advisory support will also help SMEs meet sustainability and export requirements. The governor stressed that innovative lending models are essential if Ghana is to unlock the full potential of its SME sector, which he described as the engine of jobs, innovation, and inclusive growth. Now to our international story. Microsoft and OpenAI have reached a non-binding agreement to redefine the terms of their partnership, opening the door for OpenAI to restructure as a for-profit company and potentially go public. The deal, announced on September 11, 2025, follows months of negotiations. While commercial details remain undisclosed, both sides say they are working toward a final agreement in the coming months. OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT, is targeting a valuation of $500 billion as it seeks more flexibility to raise capital expand partnerships, and secure massive computing power. Its nonprofit arm could receive more than $100 billion under the proposed terms. Microsoft, which has invested over $11 billion in OpenAI since 2019, is keen to maintain privileged access to technology even as OpenAI expands ties with cloud providers like Oracle and Google. The restructuring, however, requires regulatory approval from authorities in California and Delaware. Analysts say the new arrangement could reshape the global AI race as Microsoft and OpenAI navigate a partnership marked by both collaboration and competition.